Yes, hey guys, so in my previous videos, the 2 episodes I've done on this David Hundeyin and his propaganda against Ashore, I explained how he was first of all hired in 2015 by Goodluck Jonathan and then again in 2022 by Peter Obi. In this particular video, I'm going to explain the third paymaster. I'm going to expose the third paymaster of David Hundeyin and why is big on his propagandas against Ashore. Now, if you are following global politics, you know that there is this battle of supremacy between I would say the A-list world countries, A-list countries in the world, like such as US, China, Russia, and all those things. And recently we saw the tax war between US and China, and also for long we've been having this battle of supremacy between the Russian Empire and also the Western Empire, which is in control of which are US right now, is majorly in control of US and the UK. You understand? So this is where it's coming to. If, as you can see on the screen, I will put something on the screen now. If you can see, I search Russia on David Hundeyin's tweets, and everything he was saying about Russia were all positive, defending Russia, selling Russia, and at even the recent video he did, acknowledging Russia and like praising them for the deal they just had with Niger. And mind you, Russia is also having some deal which right now at first glance look heady. It looks like a better deal than the one the other imperialists such as France and US have been offering to these Sahel states. You understand? But our freedom must not rely on these Western people. But that is not what I want to discuss about that. But basically, we all should come to the understanding that the liberation of Africa should not be on the back of these Western powers or Eastern imperialists whatsoever. We must take our freedom, our liberation into our hands. But sadly, unfortunately, people like David Hundeyin, they have taken sides. They have taken sides, first of all, because David Hundeyin basically does not have more choice than to take a side. First, is in exile. He's exiled himself from his own country, so he needs allies. And that is why he has found Russia as a better ally. I'm yet to confirm this. I heard that at the time he was seeking for asylum in UK or whatsoever, and he was rejected, I think also, but that is not a confirmed news. You understand? I will do more research on that, and if I confirm it, I'll do other videos to elaborate more on that. But basically, he has not found any ally in US, so he has to align himself with another force to sort of like protect him and for him to also get his cash. So he has aligned with Russia, and it is no news that Russia has been hunting for African influencers, journalists, whatsoever, to to also counterbalance the influence that US, the other Western this thing they've had in Nigeria over the years, they have had in Africa for long. So this battle of supremacy between this Western and the Eastern imperialists, this battle now, David Hundeyin has taken a side, and his paymasters now are Russia. Russia has, you see all the things, all the search for Russia on his post, you see everything he's saying about them. So he's being sponsored by Russia. Those are the biggest paymaster right now. We have interest. For someone like myself that have been on the front as a foot soldier for the movement for the emancipation of this Sahel states, for them to be free from France and the other Western imperialists and all those things. I've marched for Traore. I've supported these people for their own, to be able to get their own sovereignty. Even though it's military, You understand? But it must start from somewhere. It must start from somewhere. But they have sort of like an unhealthy relationship with Russia, which even on protest ground at times when we are marching, when I'm being confronted to speak, I speak this. I said I give the advice to Traore that he should, not be too intertwined with Russia, because we cannot trade one colonial master for another colonial master. African sovereignty, African liberation is non-negotiable. This is not something that we should be putting on a negotiating platter. But anyways, so that this video will not be too long, those are matters I will calm down and dissect later. But I'm just bringing this here now for you to understand that David Hundeyin has another paymaster, which is the Russians. And in this battle for global supremacy, if you are working for Russia, you have to condemn US, and you have to look for people, that you think will expose you, that you think will fight back. Like people like Showore that are more like just people that they think the same way I think, that our liberation cannot be on the back of the Western or Eastern imperialist. It cannot be on the back of another global power. It cannot be on the back of another person that will exploit us. We have to self-govern ourselves. We have to be truly sovereign. We have to be truly independent. So that is why all this linking of Showore to CIA to this one, I find it very, very, very baseless. Because for someone like myself, I studied Showore very well before I started supporting him. Prior to now, I'm just a Pan-African. I'm just somebody that does not like the Nigerian politics or anything. But I studied Showore thoroughly. So all this talk of CIA, this one, I've even done my own digging. You understand? And I've seen things that Showore said that I will, in subsequent videos, I'll be bringing it to prove to you that this man cannot be a CIA agent with his consistency, his ideological position. But if I say I want to talk about this in this video now, it'll be too long. I'm just stating it here orally. I'll bring evidence to back my position in my subsequent videos. But for now, just note it that David Hundeyin is being sponsored by Russia. His first sponsor was Goodluck Jonathan. Second sponsor, Peter Obi. Third sponsor, Russians. So now, these three sponsors, somehow, he knows that the only person consistent and ideologically grounded enough to oppose these three people that are sponsoring him is Omoyele Showore. That is why he has a very strong personal vendetta against Showore. His zone is just to nullify, make Showore as irrelevant as possible. That is his target. But sadly, Showore is becoming even more relevant. People like myself who were not supporting Showore just how many years ago? I've been supporting just going to about 2 years now. We are now standing solidly with Showore, and people are waking up every day because you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. We have decided that we can no longer stay on the fence. For so long, we have been on the fence. And people like Showore, they've been suppressed, pushed down, oppressed, subjected to ridicule, to mockery. Because we that know the truth, we sit down and watch why people like Showore, and in the past, people like Fela, people like Gani, and all those people were ridiculed. 2003 election, somebody like Obasanjo ridiculed Gani Fayemi in the election. Even Falana contested as a governor was ridiculed. Because we that know the truth, we that are, on our own independent and critical thinkers, we don't take the time to support the right paths. But no, we are no longer sitting on the fence. And for Showore, not because how he is as a person, no. It's because of his ideology, his consistency over the years. That is why we are supporting Showore, and every propaganda against him will be decimated.